guys, and welcome back to my channel. Layla here, and we are doing another How Many Pages Does It Fill? This time a little bit different, featuring Copic Wide. But wait, I've already done this, haven't I? So out of the 1,500 comments that video received, the emotions were all over the place. So we had comments ranging from "you're pressing too hard" to comments about how because it's a red color, it didn't last as long. And a lot of people felt a lot of different ways about it. So I figured I'd do a rematch and see if it comes out any different. This is another Copic Wide that I have, and it is new, has the seal right here. I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. The only big major difference is the fact that this is a blue color. The last one was a red color. This is the B29. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get right into it and start. And I'll be discussing different things about this and answering a lot of questions that a lot of people had in the comments of the last one. All right, so I went ahead and did my border, and I'm gonna go ahead and start doing the lines down. And so one of the comments I've gotten that was a big one was, why does she push so hard on the marker? Well, a lot of that had to do with issues like this happening. So I pressed a little harder than usual because I didn't want to get those little gappy kind of areas. See, just happened again. And that's because I'm pressing a little lighter this time. And I get it. The positive side is the marker isn't screeching the way that you guys heard in the video. Ooh, that was a big gap. There's another big gap. Again, just due to me trying not to hold the marker too hard. Another person said, if you hold it at an angle, you won't have that issue, but I still sort of have that issue regardless. All right, page 1 is done. Let's move on to page 2. The second biggest comment I've gotten is, I have one and mine works very good. I've had it for over a year and it still hasn't run out. Maybe yours is a dud. That very well could have been, but of course it's just hard to say. I do expect more pages from this particular challenge because I am doing different things. I will say, on the red one, by page 2, my lines were getting streaky. This is page 2, and the ink feels great. It looks bold and super juicy. And I'm literally just saying that word to annoy you guys, as always. All right, page 2 is done. I'm feeling really confident about this page challenge. One of the other issues that a lot of commenters had was that I was not letting the marker rest. That's a little bit of a difficult thing to say because I do a lot of editing when it comes to the videos. So I was letting the marker rest, but I wasn't exactly keeping it in the footage. In this one, I will. I'm letting it rest, y'all. Letting it rest. All right, let's go ahead, move on to page 3. The other big comment that I received was how wasteful this is. And I feel that's kind of subjective, mostly because I've always said that I reuse these papers. A lot of people don't seem to believe me. But on my next How Many Pages Does It Fill, I will be creating something really cool. And just a little teaser, the next one will include Copic Various ink. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. So I'm starting to get streaky, all right? Page 3 is finished. We can definitely see the progression from very beautiful coverage to streakiness down over here. So we're gonna go ahead with page 4. Another tip I received was to kind of rub my marker. The friction and the heat causes the ink to drop down more into the nib. So let's see if that helps. Sort of did better. I also get a ton of comments telling me how satisfying they feel these videos are. And I'm super curious as to what makes them so satisfying. So for those who find these videos to be satisfying, let me know in the comments below. What makes it so pleasing to you? Okay, so page 4 is done. I'm gonna cap it, let it rest. All right, moving on to the next page. And to be honest, I would have expected the marker still to be super juicy because I just assumed that more ink would be in this, especially for the price, which is $11 for a single marker. However, I have been informed that the cost most likely has to do with the fact that it's a specialized marker with an extremely specialized nib. And so the cost most likely comes from how big this large chisel nib is. All right, page 5 is done. I'm gonna let it rest again. In the meantime, let's look at the progression. Page 1 is nice and beautiful and juicy. Page 2, pretty much the same, and I love that. It looks beautiful. Almost the same, going from fading right here. And then our last 2 pages have been quite streaky in comparison. Not bad though. So we're starting page 6. Let me rub it, get some heat and friction. All right, done. Moving on to the next page. I'm really liking this streaky effect I'm getting. Oh, I also wanted to point out that a lot of people thought I was throwing shade at ZHC as far as my comment went about how nobody uses this marker unless you're ZHC. And when I originally said it, I thought it would just be a cute comment because honestly, I don't see people using these markers too much, especially YouTube artists. The most recent one being ZHC. I know Jazz has used them before. But yeah, it definitely wasn't a comment meant to throw shade. So yeah, just thought I'd clear that up. All right, done with page 7. The fill is still pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think on the last one I got even streakier when I got to page 7. So let's move on to page 8. All right, page 8, done. Gonna let the marker rest. All right, what page is this? I don't even know anymore. Page 9, that's what it is. All right, moving on to page 10. I let the marker rest for a bit, just in case if y'all were wondering. I also feel that those who were looking for satisfaction with the previous video find it with this one. Because apparently I had a lot of viewers who were really excited about the idea of watching an extremely satisfying video, but the marker screaming did not allow for that to happen. Sorry about that, guys. Page 10 is done. Let's move on to page 11. And like always, I'm always curious about what sort of ideas you all have for how best to recycle these pages. For the red Copic one that I did, I've decided to transform them into gift tags, which I felt was pretty appropriate given that we'll be going into the holidays quite soon. But I always love hearing your guys' suggestions. So let me know. Page 11 complete. So this is page 12. And if you watched my last video, this was the page that I ended on with the red Copic Wide. And this marker is going pretty good still. I mean, obviously it's extremely streaky, but at least I have surpassed the prior page challenge. If I had to give a guess, I would say probably another page or 2 before this sucker gives out. I am also pressing down pretty hard, just making sure I'm getting whatever's left. All right, moving on to page 13. Not bad, Copic Wide, not bad. All right, it filled. Let's see if it can do one more. I don't know. Personally don't think so, but I've been surprised before. I'm gonna start on the other side. Whew, we're definitely getting a lot more drier. So I'm gonna press just to make sure I'm getting it all out. Oh, that's interesting. Huh, so I decided to go up instead of down and it was super dry. Let me go down. Down is still better. I guess because that's where all the ink has collected due to constantly using this side of the nib. Okay, I'm surprised. Maybe one more page. Maybe. We shall see. All right, let's see. So far, so good. Okay, we technically filled. So since we're this far along, I'm going to use the back side and see if it can do it again as far as filling this page. This still counts as another page though. I technically don't do this with the other pages only because when the ink is a lot, it soaks into the page and I feel it could mess with the end results. But since the ink is so light here, I know it's not soaking into the page. So using the back isn't a big deal. All right, so again, it technically filled. Let's do one more page just to get all that ink out. I'm not even gonna do my borders this time. It's gonna go right at it. All right, I would say we've reached the bare bottom of this marker. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna turn it over and just see if it could still give something. And I'm gonna say no. Yeah, this is pretty much it. I guess I could count this page. Ooh, yeah, now it's really dry. All right, I would say that's that. My hand itches from pushing it so hard. All right, so this Copic Wide did a lot better. I'm sure it probably had to do with some of the different techniques that I used. Yeah, let's go ahead and count them. Page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16, 17, and then 18. And I guess I'll leave these last 4 pages up to you if you would count them, but I guess I would say 18 pages. And so yeah, so this was quite the rematch. I guess I may have been pressing too hard on the last one, or perhaps for some other reason. So if you found this video helpful or enjoyable or satisfying, maybe comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye!